Hey, it's Chloe from Queen of Arcs, and this is how to Kato Polyclay. And just to let you know, anything that I suggest or tell you that I'm using, like the Cricut, Cricut Joy, or if I make reference to Amazon or anything like that, I don't have a deal with them or anything. It's just that this is where I got it, and this is where you could probably find it. You can also probably find these things at your favorite craft store. So before we do this, these are 3 or 4 sheets. Actually, I think it's 3 sheets because I used the red twice, of pre-baked Kato polymer clay sheets. I'm hoping that you have taken a look at the details and how to actually make the polyclay sheet, so I won't go over that today. But before we start the video, I just want to show you what you're going to need. So what I used was these pre-baked sheets, and then I had a couple of things that we needed to cut the shapes with. So one of the first things that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to lay out your polymer clay sheets. And this is what I use. I use the Cricut Joy mats, but it's really not by Cricut, it's from Amazon, and it's these mats here. Okay, they're cutting mats for the Cricut Joy, and I'll show it to you. I'm using old mats because they've been kind of nastied up, if you can see that. But I'll show you the back of them. They're like 4.5 inches wide, and then they're about, like, I want to say 12 inches long. So 12 inches long by 4.5 wide. Okay, so that's for the Cricut Joy. I used 2 of them, and here's the significance of that. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. I cut the shapes out, and this is probably the best way for me to show it to you. I cut the shapes out with these dies. It's a die set that I got from Amazon. I'll take one out and see if I can, I don't know, can you, if that's okay. There, you can see them. So that's a floral shape, but you can get various different shapes depending on what you want to cut. Now here's what I did. Here's how I had to cut it. Now there's various different ways to use these dies, and not necessarily do you need a Sizzix, which costs like a bunch of money, or any of the other sorry, roll down die cutting machines. You can very simply get a rolling pin, okay, and use that. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. A rolling pin and use that. But what I used, crazy, is an old pasta machine that I had. This is my old, I started off with a pasta machine with the handle, okay. I do not use this for my regular conditioning. I have another pasta machine that's got other attachments, and it's got a motorized, it's got a motor attached to it as well. Okay, so I don't use your good pasta machine. Either use a rolling pin or upcycle, like I did, an old Sculpey pasta machine. And what I did, let me take this off because it's going to fall again. What I did was I took the bottom plate off, okay, and I laid it down on the table this way with the, right, with the clamp, clamping onto my table this way. So I am working this way, okay. I'm working horizontally, not vertically. And let me just show, I'm better with my right hand, so let me just show you. So basically what you do is, and I'll show this to you while as I do it, okay. Well, it's going to be pre-recorded because it's a little bit of a noisy house today, okay. So I've got, pretend, okay, I've got polymer clay pre-baked sheets, okay, in my cutting machine, on my cutting mat, doubled over, okay, and the dies, okay. This isn't pretty big. This is just this is raw, so I can show it to you, okay. And it sits in like that, okay. I'll show you how we tape it down, and we sandwich it like that, and it goes through the pasta machine this way. And of course I'm cranking, okay. If you've ever seen the Sizzix, you crank it, right? You crank the handle, and I had to push the mat in through a little bit, and it will cut those beautiful shapes, okay. The shapes that I made this with. Now that you've seen the method, I want to show it to you in action, and I'll talk you through it because again, it's a noisy house today, so I pre-recorded it and it will be a voiceover. So cool.